Hey guys, it's Tom. This is a video just to update you on how my life's been going since I had my first Vipassana 10-day retreat experience last year, back in October. So how many months ago was it? October, November, December, January, February, 6 months getting on to now, so quite a while ago. And I had what I guess you could say a breakthrough experience, although for a seasoned Vipassana meditator it's probably just, you know, part of the norm of Vipassana. But for me, I consider it a breakthrough experience because it has really just allowed me to really appreciate the power and the the word I'm looking for, the authenticity of the technique of Vipassana, and that it is the real deal. It will do the business for you, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I sat down the other day because I haven't been doing Vipassana consistently since I did the course last year. I kind of went through stages. I kept up for a while afterwards, but then, you know, life kind of got in the way, and I guess, well, I'll be honest, I kind of got lazy, and kind of it tailed off for me. But what this whole experience has led me on to, it's definitely been leading me on a path of self-discovery, and it's kind of becoming the most interesting part of my life now. It's almost taking my life over, where my kind of main goal and objective of life is to really just find out what it's all about, and to become more self-aware of me and my life and my mind and what's in there, and what's, you know, all this baggage, and taking it out and seeing it for what it is, and getting insights into the nature of reality, and all this stuff, all this fascinating stuff. So I've been trying lots of different things and looking into lots of different avenues. Some have provided benefits, some haven't really got anywhere. But this year, 2015, I've kind of been getting back into Vipassana. I've kind of slipped back into it. I was listening to an audio series that I downloaded not long ago by a guy called Shinzen Young. Amazing guy who's been a meditation teacher and studying meditation for like 40 years now. But in this audio series, he's an American. He explained all the intricacies of meditation and all the experiences one can expect to experience if they go down this path of insight meditation, especially. And it really kind of imbued me with a new level of enthusiasm towards maintaining a regular practice, because the way he explained it to me just really made me understand why it is that a person would want to do this. Because it's very easy to just kind of hear people say, oh yeah, meditate, it's great, it's good for you. But I guess just by my nature, I'm very inquisitive, and I always just want to know a little bit more. You know, I know the whole point of meditation is to try and let go of that wanting to know, and that's what I've started to learn. But at the same time, it doesn't help to have it to at least give you the enthusiasm to do it, because if you don't do it, you're never going to gain any of the benefits anyway. But anyway, cut to the chase. I sat down not long ago, maybe last week, to do a Vipassana meditation. I've been doing it, like I said, I've been doing it more and more often now. But this time I sat down and I just felt real determination to really just sit and just keep sitting and just keep sitting until something happens. You know, in the past I've kind of thought, oh, sitting down and not moving, and you know, it's going to be painful, and I would always have resistance. My mind would always resist it. But this time, I don't know, I just felt a steeper sense of just, you know what, let go of your whiny little mind for a minute and just really just sit and wait until something happens and just observe it. So I did. I sat down in the half lotus position and on my floor in my bedroom, and I was there for, I think it must have been, I mean, from looking at the clock, I was there for at least 2 hours. At least 2 hours without moving a single muscle. And now that might not be the most hardcore sitting that's ever been done, nowhere near. But for me, that was a lot. That's the most I've ever done. I'd usually just do an hour beforehand, time myself for an hour, do it, then get up. But I did 2 hours. And in the sitting down, the normal things would happen. You know, at first my mind would be quite busy. It would have a lot of thoughts, lots of kind of self-doubting thoughts about the technique, or about doing this, or about being bored, or about feeling uncomfortable. But I just kept focusing on my body. I kept scanning my body. I kept on observing all the sensations, which at first were very kind of quite hard to detect, just little itches or little tingles here and there. But after a while you start to, your concentration kind of improves and you start to feel more subtle sensations. After about 45 minutes, the usual thing happened, my legs would fall asleep, and then I would start to feel the pain creeping up my thighs, into my knees, into my lower legs. My legs are always where I get the pain. And I just kept observing it, kept sitting there, observing it. Then after about an hour and 15 minutes, my mind had really slowed down. My conscious thoughts were pretty much next to nothing. Like, I kind of would have to kind of initiate the thinking myself if I was going to think, but the internal dialogue, the drunken monkey, you know, that had just completely almost shut up to a complete silence, and I was feeling in a state of almost kind of trance, but I was still completely aware of what was going on, and I was still observing. And after about an hour and a half, that's when things started to get really interesting. The pains in my legs had kind of got to the peak of pain, but I was okay with it. I was just observing it, and because I was just observing it, my thoughts weren't compounding the pain. Because as soon as you start thinking about the pain and thinking, ow, this hurts or this is uncomfortable, it gets like 1,000 times worse. Like, literally, it's amazing how the thought about, or the resistance that the thought creates, will make the pain so much worse. Where if you just allow the thought to cross your mind, you don't attach your attention to it and believe it, and you just keep observing the pain you're feeling, you can actually just, you're fine with it, you know? And I got to the stage where I was almost enjoying the pain. I was kind of enjoying the experience of it, because I wasn't really seeing it as pain anymore. Because of course the thing that was seeing it as pain, which was my conscious mind that would always be analysing things and talking and gabbing along and stuff and causing resistance, because that had completely almost faded into the background, and I must have descended into, I guess, the alpha brainwave state. Because I wasn't there, I could just see the pain for what it was, which was just sensations being produced from the body. And these sensations slowly turned into, and the pain started to fade away, the pain started to dissipate, and then I just felt the pain in my legs. I just felt my legs kind of just turn into a vibration. And it was just felt like one big, slowly vibrating vibration. Just like boom, 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 boom. Like a kind of a pumping, or like a heartbeat. And I couldn't feel my legs anymore as separate legs. There was no kind of boundary where my legs ended or was encircled by. My whole lower half of my body was just this slow pulsating vibration. And then this seemed to move up my body, and again the exterior of my body, the framework of the body that you can feel even with your eyes closed, like you know where your hands are and stuff, that completely just disappeared. It almost just felt like it just dissolved into space, until all I felt was this awareness, which I guess you could signify as just being here, which had no thoughts, but it was completely conscious and aware. It felt like my awareness was just hanging in nothingness, just in space. It felt real peaceful, very relaxing. And it was just hanging there, conscious of vibration. Just that my body had just turned into vibrations, just vibrating in space. And I had no sense of a physical body anymore. I just had this expanded sense of space and the vibrations that were vibrating, that were the manifestation of the physical body, or that are the manifestation of the physical body when you feel the physical body is the physical body. Yeah, and that's the stage I got to, and that's the furthest I've ever got to in Vipassana. And it was amazing. It was an incredible insight. It made me realise that the body, or what we perceive as being solid in this material, apparently material world, is not necessarily actually material when you get down to its base level. I mean, science says that, but to actually experience it firsthand is quite something. It's quite amazing. So yeah, it's really made me realize that, yeah, Vipassana is definitely, I don't need to tell you this, but it's been used for thousands of years. It is the real deal. If you really want to see what's going on inside of you, if you really want to explore your mind and your physiology and the universe, or get insights into what is going on, I can definitely wholeheartedly recommend Vipassana as a very good method to do that. Of course, there's many methods, but Vipassana, it seems to be very true to me. It seems like there's no one, if everyone did it, and it's such a simple thing to do, I think everyone would just feel the same things, have this similar experiences, gain the same benefits, because what it seems to do is, because you access the deeper level of the mind, and you don't respond to your negative thought patterns, and you don't respond to pain, you don't respond to the emotions, you don't respond to anything that comes up whilst you're doing this, you just observe it. It seems to cleanse the mind, or purify the mind, as they would say, you know, in spiritual practice, spiritual purification. It seems to cleanse the subconscious and the unconscious mind of all that negative stuff and the baggage and all that pain that you've been carrying around with you. And what I found after I did this, I had an amazing dream the night afterwards, where, I mean, when I was at school, in high school, I guess, well, I was pretty insecure. I mean, like a lot of teenagers, but I really felt very shy. And I never really was my true, authentic self to people. I always played it very safe, was always the nice guy, and inside I was always eternally frustrated about this. And I'd beat myself up, you know, how do I behave, how do I act, what do I say? You know, I always had an internal battle going on, all through my school life. But after doing this meditation, I had a dream of being at school, very vivid, real dream, with all the people that were at school at the same time with me, and I was completely different. In this dream, I was completely open with people. I had amazing connections with people, I had amazing conversations with people, like the polar opposite to the kind of the experience I had. I had a very nice experience at school, but I know it wasn't, I wasn't being the real me, or I wasn't having the experience I could have had, because I was restricting myself so much. But in this dream, it was the complete opposite, and it was almost like it was a signal from my subconscious mind that, yeah, it's okay, you've released this stuff, you released this past resistance, and you know, this chapter of your life that might have caused you pain in the past is closed, it's done, it's healed. And that was incredible. I woke up and I just felt so good, and I felt so good for the rest of the day. So there we go. Yeah, like I say, it's taken me a few months to really kind of see Vipassana for what it is and really experience its true power. But I'll definitely be doing another one in the near future, another 10-day retreat, and I will definitely be utilising Vipassana as a regular practice in my life, because it works. Thank you for watching.